Dr. Gold in the lab, Twitch stream glowing, formulas flashing, minds wide, knowledge flowing, equations on the board, numbers never sleep, teaching math and physics while them haters count sheep. Actual education, tune in and get schooled, flipping textbooks, breaking all the rules, from Newton to Einstein, concepts elevate. Keep the stream, it's the key to our fate. Dr. Gold dropping gems, knowledge raining down, actual education making scholars all around. Perpendicular minds, angles sharp as ice, maths and physics, yeah, the future's real nice. Got the Pythagorean triangles about to flex, quantum theories on deck, breaking all the specs, relativity theories, worlds getting small, grasp the universal laws, standing tall. From the atom to the cosmos, we rolling deep, grazing up the stars, no time to sleep. Black holes and supernovas, concepts we unfold, brain power heavy, yeah, that's Dr. Gold. Dr. Gold dropping gems, knowledge raining down, actual education making scholars all around. Perpendicular minds, angles sharp as ice, maths and physics, yeah, the future's real nice.
All right, what's up, everybody? Let's see, is that working? Yeah. What's up, Recky? What's up, Shanks? Good to see y'all. There we go. 25 stream streak. Nice. What's up, Sibley? Ooh. Check to make sure I don't have any crazy emails coming up. Okay, today is Tuesday, September 9th. Super fun. Feel like we're halfway through a regular week for me, which is cool. I already have like students asking me to like tutor them too, which I mean is good because like I need like money. I do need to pay rent somehow. Not everything can be free like at Burning Man where you can just go up to anywhere and be like, oh, everything is free. No. You come back to the real world. They call it the default world. And you're like, oh man, I have to pay for things again. Damn it. Anyways, yeah. Let's see. Any other new announcements? Oh yeah, we're gonna do the giveaway for the Nintendo Switch 2 tomorrow for summer camp. So I'll make an announcement on the server, but come on by. You'll be here tomorrow during the stream anyways. If you come on by, we'll do a little spin for it. It'll be fun. Every day feels like a Friday in school, not gonna lie. It just takes a few more weeks to adjust. Yeah, like anything in life, when you have like cycles of things and then you switch to another cycle, there is like it's almost like a jet lag per se. There's kind of like a little rough adjustment period. I still need to clean my apartment. I've gotten my bedroom done, my bathroom done, my kitchen done. Last thing is like my living room and my dining room, which are I did not make any progress this morning because I went to the gym and then I had to eat, and then I don't know. I had to tutor. I had to tutor this afternoon. That's what happened. Yeah, I'm like, what did I do this afternoon? Yeah, I'd helped someone with they're applying for pharmacy school fellowships. So I helped this student get into pharmacy school, which is like a graduate program after undergrad. And now they're applying for fellowships as they graduate pharmacy school. So I'm kind of helping them write their cover letters and stuff. I saw a pretty interesting study here. Because, like, you know, I'll be totally honest. I use a lot of AI to help people, especially with like resumes, cover letters, any sort of like application thing. There's some heavy use of AI to like, because it's so powerful. I can tell a student, hey, give me your resume, give me the job description. We feed it to AI, and like it'll create a really good skeleton that matches like what is the job looking for and what skills do you have. And so it can kind of like create a nice starting point to work with. And some of the students would be like, oh wow, like I totally forgot that, like, yeah, they want someone who has like leadership skills, and I totally was president of this club. And I'm like, yeah, duh. So, yeah, I was doing that today. But I saw an interesting study where, so now apparently the HR departments are using AI. I mean, I know they've kind of been doing it, but apparently they're going really heavy on it now for going through the resumes. So at this point, right, it used to be like, I would say, let's write a resume, let's write a cover letter that seems like it was written by a human, because I assume that humans would be reading it. But these days, a lot of the big companies are all just using AI to read the resumes. So now there's less of an incentive for you to write a human resume, because you want to write something that the AI HR will pick up on. Yeah. Is there a website where you know where students can tutor each other for money? Because I have a lot of free time. Yeah, tutoring is a great thing to get into. I use Wizant. You have to like build up a reputation, you know, like many things in life. It's kind of annoying. So whatever, this is, you want to see my public profile or whatever? Here's my public profile. Yeah, this is what I use. I have a nice little review. Someone said I was life-changing. It's like, W, dude, what? It's like the best thing someone can write on a resume for me, dude, or a review. I was life-changing. But yeah, if you want to get into tutoring, this is how I started. Wrong thing. There you go. I started with Wizant, in early grad school, and you have to charge like pennies to get your first couple clients. I think I started out like $20 an hour. And then as you build a reputation, and also as you build experience, you know, teaching is something where, yeah, it helps to be smart, but sometimes being super smart actually fucks you, because then you're not able to get on the same level as someone who isn't super smart and trying to understand the material. So it definitely helps to have a good, you know, amount of knowledge to teach things. But there is seriously a skill in teaching that takes time and practice for you to develop. So, yeah, the only way to get practice though is to do. So sign up, maybe, put yourself as like dirt cheap, $5 an hour, whatever, just to get your foot in the door, just so like people will take a risk on you. And then as you get better at it and you get more clients, you can start like moving that number up. And then, yeah. I need to be in USA to tutor on Wizant. Yeah, okay, well, go find the Canadian equivalent, I guess. There are some advantages to being born in the US. Oh, I appreciate it, Sib. Yeah, I have a huge impact. Yeah. Always trying to have more impact. I think that's why I kind of shy away from teaching like small classes, like high schools, or even like college is kind of a small thing, but you are working with like upwards of 400 students a quarter sometimes. But I think I like to maximize my audience, and that's why, like, I mean, YouTube and social media and TikTok, all that stuff is the ultimate. You want to expand your reach, because you can reach like millions of people. $20 an hour sounds great when I don't gotta pay for rent, grocery, clothes, etc. Yeah, it's the best, dude. Yeah, when I was your age, dude. Yeah, I think I worked for minimum wage at a biotech company in Texas, getting paid, I want to say $11 an hour, maybe 10 or 11. But to me, that was like stupid good money. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, I can buy my own video card after like a week of work.
Nice.
Finishing school, it's important. It's what I'm working on. I was away from school for a long time. You have a unique situation. Sib, we should like sit down. I would love to like learn more about like, now that we're outside the student-teacher interaction, I'd love to just like know your story at some point. I think it'd be cool. You seem like you have a unique background or a situation that's going on. Odinroot says, "Was good, Unc. Did you bench 315 yesterday after the stream?" I got up to 205 for 6. That was my first time benching in like 3 weeks though, so I really didn't want to push it, but I did get to 205 at least. I was happy. Mondo, is David trying to get you to play Magic? He is, dude, and it's hilarious. This kid, dude, he's so funny. He just ADHD jumps from like expensive hobby to expensive hobby. Like Magic the Gathering is not a cheap game. You have to pay a lot of money for the decks. I did play a lot in high school though. I played a lot of Magic. I still have my cards, but yeah, no, I'm like currently unemployed. I'm not gonna start dumping cash into like paper cards to like play things with people. Battlefield 6. I will buy Battlefield 6, Mondo. I will do that. Yeah. Yeah, you can hit me up on Discord. Yeah, Sib. Whatever. I'll give you my phone number. I don't care. Are you in LA, Sibley? Sib? I forget. Are you like in like Los Angeles? Like, we meet up for coffee or something. If it was an in-person class, right, I would just say you could just come by my office and we could just chat. But I guess I technically still have an office. Like they didn't take the keys from me. I still have the keys. They did take my health insurance though. I got that notice in the mail a couple weeks ago. It's like, your health insurance is ending. No. Magic the Gathering is opposite of the focus mindset. Is that what he's trying to say, dude? David was actually kind of funny. I was explaining Burning Man to him, and I swear we'll do questions here in a second. But he was talking about how like it's not his time for Burning Man because like he's in like a building period of his life, right? He's like, I really need to like work on myself. I need to build things. It's like it's not time to go play and like have fun and like, you know. I'm like, cool, I can respect that. But also like Burning Man is like not just like hedonistic, like go out and play. It's the most ultimate like work on yourself building experience. Because it's a test of like an environment that's trying to kill you, and you have to like really grow up pretty quick to like deal with it. So I think he got it after that. He was like, oh, I was like, yeah, dude, like Burning Man is not like some like, let me go out and get fucked up and just like party and have fun. It's like, I mean, some of that happens for sure, like maybe 20% of the time. But the other 80% is like, it's kind of like a confidence booster. And like, do I have enough character and stamina and like, are my stats good enough to still survive out here? Yeah. Dude, are we gonna get lost, dude? Yeah. Yeah, Seb, I'll send you my number. Yeah. No, a lot of people think, yeah, Burning Man is just like a go do drugs and party. But it's, I mean, yes, that does happen. But it's not the focus. It can't be the focus. Unless like you have buckets of money and you're just paying for other people to fix your shit and like take care of you, then sure, yes. But for normal, you know, average day citizens like me, you know, no, it's, and honestly, like I did a lot more like picking up the slack for my camp because some of my camp doesn't have like, I mean, they just don't have like the skills. Like they came into it not really knowing that you need to have basically like a degree in like electrical engineering and everything else to keep things running. Yeah, Mondo, yeah. David is hilarious with his, yeah, I need to take breaks, but then I do this, or like, this is consuming too much of my time, so let me go do something else that takes too much of my time. Yeah. Focus mindset. Magic the Gathering. Okay. 100% keck. All right. Yeah, we'll do the giveaway tomorrow. Also, I'll make an announcement. I am gonna go live on another person's channel on Friday. Her name is Toxic Tofu Tech Talk. Let me. What is her name? One sec. Let me see who she is. Twitch Toxic Tech Tofu something. Toxic something. Okay, here we go. No, this is her. Tiny Toxic Tofu. Sorry. T. This is her name. Yeah, Tiny. This is her. Tiny Toxic Tofu. I think she's from Ireland, but this is her, and I'm gonna go on her show. She got 7K on YouTube, about what we got. She's bigger on Twitch though. I think she got like 10K on Twitch. Where is she? Wait, where's her? There she is. Tiny Toxic Tofu. There we go, Jeff. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having like a brain fart today. But yes, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on her stream on Friday at noon Pacific. So that's 1 p.m. for you Mountain Time people. No, sorry, 11 a.m. for you Mountain Time people. No, wait, I'm even more fucked up. Sorry. Yes. No. 1 p.m. Mountain. Yes. 2 p.m. Central. 3 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. I'll make an announcement in the Discord though. But I'm excited. She just wants to like talk about like my life and like science I did and what we do now with this nonprofit. So, and I mean, I think she's partner. Like she's pretty big on Twitch. I think she's like whatever this thing says. She's part of a team. Oh, she's a Twitch ambassador. There we go. Cool. Right. Okay. So she's got more Twitch clout than I do. So cool. Maybe it'll help out with some like exposure to helping people. You know. I'm from Orland, mate. Yeah. Yeah, dude, seriously. Yeah, sorry. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Jeff. Okay. Anyways, I'll make an announcement. I'll definitely say it tomorrow as well. Just to remind you guys, come on by, like, chat, you know, show some love. I don't know. You guys are all great anyways, so. Okay, with that being said, let's kick it off, do some math and science questions, get you guys ready for the school year, and kick it off. Welcome, everyone, to Office Hours. My name is Dr. Gold's Actual Education, the stream that helps you out with math, homework, science homework. All sorts of fun stuff. Let me get the YouTube running. Because, Sib, I know you like YouTube better. You can go to YouTube, it's fine. I just know the algorithm on YouTube is very sensitive about your first couple minutes. So if my first couple of minutes are me just like rambling on a short on YouTube, they're not really gonna like come back. But if they see like, oh, I can actually get math and science help here, they're more likely to be like, oh, okay, maybe I should come to this stream. We could also do your questions. Let me see like what the docket is so far. Sorry, do I have a couple? I do have one. Oh, Psyduck has one. Cool. And then we could do your second one as well here, Sib, if you want. This was cool. Let me make sure all my chat's running. Let's get the source here running. Shorts. Good. And then let's see if I can get TikTok to go. Bless my internet gods recently. I knock on wood. I haven't had any like major upload issues recently, which I'm so happy with. Man, they make these captchas so difficult. There you go. Thank you. This one's perfect. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I don't have anyone else submitting one yet, so I would love to try to understand this. Actually, I realized it also when I was doing this one for you, Sib, you had to also recognize that this thing right here was equal to 1. So I think, in general, the way we do surface integrals, if something is in, like, 3 parameters, is we try to, like, dish it down into 2 parameters. Which in this case, usually what you're doing is you're taking something like, I don't know, in Cartesian, and then you're taking it from XYZ into just R theta. Or r theta, I guess, but then you need like z depending on r theta as well. In this case, what they did was they defined that the space that we're looking at, instead of depending on the ds you're looking at, instead of it depending on x, y, and z, it only depends on x and y. And then z is a function of x and y. So then I am cool with doing just a surface integral, which is a double integral, versus it being a volume integral, which would mean I'd have to have another thing here, like some dv or something. Holy double integral guacamole, yeah. What's up, Big Monkey Man? And then the other key thing here is that when you come up with parameterizing your space into whatever, like 2 variables, you also need to write out like whatever is in the integrand as something that is also just in terms of those 2 variables. Which, this was kind of nice because the plane that spanned like this triangle was literally like x plus y plus z is equal to 1, which was super nice, because then that's literally what this shit is. So your integral became like this and became 1 ds. And then what happened was, instead of changing this ds from a standard xyz ds, you have to turn it into a new coordinate system, which what we created was this gx, gy, and then it's like d whatever. What do they call it? Like, yeah. They still call it like dy dx. Yeah. And I think this term here, so this right here, which is, because I love trying to come up with what the general form of what the fuck this shit is whenever you're changing some ds from one coordinate system to another coordinate system, it needs to be something like this, where it's like dg d whatever a cross dg db, and then it's like dA dB. What's up, Colonel? Lag? Oh, is there lag? Oh, I apologize. It says my output's fine. It might take a second to like equilibrate. Let me make sure my live stream is actually working. Yes? Yes, we're good. Yeah, we got connection. Oh, it's better. Okay, cool. All good. Look at that. 9 concurrent viewers. That's awesome. What's up, Monkey Man? One second. He says, people of chat plus Mr. Actual, Dr. Actual. I say, no, I didn't go to grad school for 9 years to get called Mr. It's gotta be Doctor. Anyways, study goes, not really my technique wise, looking at university timetable, I'm 9 to 3. That's a lot of class, dude, by the way. What? 9 to 3? It's a lot of classes for university. So by time I'll go total 9, I'm wondering how to divide my time up. Yeah. The amount of time you need to study is very subject dependent. And then that it also has to do with how often you need to study, right? So if you're taking like a biology class where you just need to memorize like where the fucking mitochondria is before the test, then you only really need to study like 2 days before the test, every test. So now like you don't have to study every day for biology. Yeah. So depends on the class. Something like this calculus stuff and whatnot, you probably need to study every day because it's so much new stuff coming in all the time. And if you like don't get all of it, it starts to compound on like problems. I foresee you probably like dropping the gym, to be honest. Wait. Oh wow, we got another sub there. Thank you, The Real Colonel. Love that, dude. Thank you. Wow, we got 4 subs in the last 2 days. That's awesome. I would maybe go to the gym in the morning. I'm just gonna warn you real quick there. If you try to go to the gym and then try to study, you're gonna be exhausted. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna cut the gym. But okay. So I think Sib, what happens is when you're trying to, I'm trying to like get a good overall thought of this, is that when you have an integral that's usually in Cartesian space, but you're trying to create some new coordinate system to take that integral such that things are nicer, you end up doing what I believe is called the Jacobian here, which is the magnitude of the cross product of your two parameterizations, per se, is what we would say. Let me double check that. Jacobian matrix. There you go. Gym twice a week. There you go. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Do you see how it's kind of like this thing? And then you take the determinant of it, I want to say. Gym and collegeable isn't manageable. Depends on how many college courses you're taking. You adjust. You can adjust. I definitely went to the gym a little bit while I was in college. But it depends what your course load is. Let me say, like, coordinate transformation. No, it's like a change. It is a coordinate transform, though, isn't it? Coordinate axis. Transform, integrals, Jacob. I'm just going to type a bunch of words in and, like, hopefully it gets what I want. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, okay, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. 76. Uh-oh, dog. Uh-oh. So, look at this, Civ. This is kind of like... Oh, no, that is not what I wanted. Where's my... Can I get the image here? Yes, I want this image, please. Thank you. This is really cool. So, in this case, someone's going from something which is like X and Y to R and theta. And so... you make the transformation, right, that X is equal to R cosine theta, Y is equal to R sine theta, right? And then your Jacobian is like this big matrix where you do, you do dx, dr, and then you do dx, d theta. So you take whatever your first variable is, and then you do the partials related to your like parameter variables that you have. So here we're changing x and y into r and theta. And then this would be like dy dr, dy d theta. And then you get some cool things here, right? Because dx dr, well, that's just the derivative of this with respect to r is just cosine theta. The derivative of this with respect to theta is going to be r cosine theta. And then it's dx d theta. Sorry, so it's negative r sine theta. And then dy dr is just going to be sine theta. And then dy d theta is going to be r cosine theta. And then here's the cool thing, is that if I do the determinant of this, right? Let's see, we do the determinant. You do, this is where linear algebra comes into play, right? You do this times this. So that's going to be r cosine squared theta. And then you do minus this times this. So that becomes minus r sine squared theta. Which then this is plus plus, right? So then you just get r. Right. Oh, that's cool. And then I think that's why it's r dr d theta. And this is how you do now, instead of doing, for instance, dx dy for your integrals, if you're doing like a surface integral, right, dx dy, you now do r dr d theta. This is your new coordinate system. Yeah, this is an identity, right? Cosine squared plus sine squared is equal to 1. Yeah. So, and I think this is kind of the same thing. Because let me think. You're doing... Yeah, you do dg dx crossed with dg dy. Which I want to say is the curl of G? Let me think about that one sec. Like, what would be the curl of G? Let's say G is a function of X, Y, and Z or something, right? That would be... Well, first of all, it would be I, J, K. Just kidding. Mondo, oh, you have some good college tips here. One sec, Mondo. Let me emphasize that. Mondo says, anyone in college, please take your elective and easy classes that aren't crucial to your degree online, especially if you want to maintain the gym also. Yes. I 100% agree that, and this is why I tell a lot of kids, don't be super concerned if you don't get into your top college like right away. Go to community college for a year. Go take all those easy classes, those electives, those general credits for way cheaper. You get a way better experience because it's a smaller class size. And you can also go to the gym more. Unless you struggle with discipline. Yes. Yeah, unless you play Magic the Gathering. No. Dumb messed up, AA Ron. Get roid accusations before 20. Dude, I was seeing some whack ass shit, dude. They're like kids taking Plan B on purpose in order to like get a testosterone prescription because it crashes your T levels. I'm like, please don't do that. It's so dumb. Okay, here we go. GX. Yeah, go natty, dude. I'm natty. I've never done a single illegal fitness drug in my life. All right, let's see what happens here when we take this cross product sip, because I think something cool happens here. I think it's this, because see, then this is dgz dy minus dgy dz. I don't want that though. I want. Let me see what this is. I'm trying to like kind of derive this from like first principles, like where this comes from. I'm really curious about this. Yeah, let's say dg dx crossed with dg dy. I want to know where this comes from, because it shows up all the time, from what I've seen. To me, this is like little math exploration. Because then dg dx is still a vector. It still has x, y, and z components. How bad do you want it? Not bad enough for like my balls to fall off, dude. What? No. Like, Jesus, dude. That's always the joke. Like, guys go to the gym to like get better looking for girls and stuff, and then they quickly realize it's just really to impress other dudes. You're only gonna get compliments from other guys. Girls don't really compliment you for like going to the gym. At a certain point. I mean, like, there's like the, you know, kind of in shape, but then when like you start getting to the body dysmorphia of like, do I have a 40-inch bicep yet? That's all dudes. Girls think you're kind of weird if you do that. Okay, let's do this. I think this is I, J, K. And so then this is like dg dx x dg dy y dg no dg dx, but the y component, and the g dx. This is the z component, and then we're gonna do the same thing here. Yeah, dude, the narcissism is right, dude. Yeah, they got the special mirrors sometimes at places that like really give you good contours on your muscles and stuff. Sorry, dgdy, but in the z component. dgdz. No, dgdy in the z component. Okay, let's see what this does. I'm just curious. So this is dg dx, the y component, dg dy, but the z component minus dg dy, the y component, dg dx, the z. I don't really see a pattern here yet. I don't really want to go through the full one. Gym bathroom lighting is unrivaled. It is. It's because the lights face down and they give you the best contours. Okay. So I think this is a dead end. Sib, I was trying to like see if this was something cool to this. It's not yet. But I know it's something with this. I know it's something there. Because I think that's what's happening, is you're converting from XYZ into just XY, but in like some new coordinate axis space thing where we're on a plane. And so you're defining the plane as X is X, Y is Y, but then Z is equal to 1 minus X minus Y. Okay. Where does this come from? Where does this come from? I guess it's the normal vector to the plane is what it is. Is it? Yeah, it can be pretty abstract, yeah. Let's see what Monkey Man says. Realistically, I'll only be able to study about 5 hours a day on weekdays and 6 on weekends. Wow, you're brave, dude. I think I studied maybe 2 hours a day at college, maybe 3. I mean, there are definitely like bender days or like all-nighters where we'd have to work on homework for like 10 hours. I think Monkey Man, it's going to depend on your coursework. 100% going to depend on your coursework. And you'll find out pretty quickly like what course demands what amount of work, you know? For me, for example, like my Italian class took like 20 minutes for me to like work on per day. But my quantum mechanics class took like over a day per day. Like I couldn't learn it quick enough. Yeah. You'd Kermit? What's Kermiting? Mondo, what is a Kermit? I agree that you should take breaks in studying. Again, everybody's different. I can do about 2 hours is my max. I would say an hour is kind of the sweet spot. Hour and a half. 2 hours, I'm cooked, dude. I can't learn any more things. I need to go like, I don't know, virtually destroy something. Oh, Kermit suicide. Oh, okay. Oh, you'd Kermit. Oh, wow. I didn't know about that one. I know about Ann heroing. I didn't know Kermit was another euphemism for it. It's a little play on words. It's punny. Nice. You know what? Actually, Sib, here. I'm going to do, because I don't think we have any other screenshots yet, right? We don't have any screenshots? I'm happy to just like kind of learn this with you. We're gonna use our good old friend ChatGPT to try to explain how this works. You can go for a while with studying. Nice. Here we go. I'm gonna say we're gonna do the think quickly one. And I'm gonna tell it. Well, not this. Sorry. Where's the picture? Wait, what? I had this one somewhere. Suicide. It's like when the kids are now calling each other acoustic. It's funny how human language will always come up with a way to figure things out. Okay. I want you to explain how to do this first one as a general procedure. I want like a general procedure for why this, and for why this works. I think it has something to do with a Jacobian matrix and transforming the variables or coordinate axis you're using to do an integral. I'm low-key restarted on some. There you go. Yeah, I'm low-key restarted. Someone did submit a web screenshot. HHH, what's up, Odin Root? Is this yours? Okay, nice. Wavelength and stuff? Okay, cool. We'll do yours in like, I'll take a break from this in like 5 minutes, Odin, and then I'll do, 1 second, let me pull this is Mastering Physics, by the way, which I fucking hate. Mastering Physics is goddamn awful. How are your bubbles gold? My bubbles? What are my bubbles? What? Oh, my bubbles. Oh, my chat. Oh, the ChatGPT got. Oh, you can change that. You can change that in settings. Okay. Let's see. ChatGPT has given me some cool information here. It only had to think for 11 seconds. Bless you. It said, this is a great place to say why surface integrals are just change of variable problems in disguise. Yeah, this is what I thought. I'm pretty sure this is just a change of variables. This is so... Bless you, ChatGPT. You know. Okay. So you parameterize it, right? From a 3-space down to a 2-space, right? And you can compute the tangent vectors. And then you find the local area scaling factor. That's what they call the Jacobian for the area. Oh, this is cool. Oh, yeah. So, do people know where this comes from? When you have, like... No, go back. Wait, what did you do, Bing? I did not ask you to go there. Yeah, this is a cool product of this is a result of vectors. The cross product... It's in disguise. It really is, dude. I think it's the area of a parallelogram. Yeah, this is it. This is really cool. Anyone ever seen this before? If you have 2 vectors and you take the cross product of the two, but you take the magnitude of that cross product, that ends up equaling the area of the parallelogram formed by it. Yeah, so here, this is kind of a cool thing. Let's watch this. So if you have like a vector A and a vector B, right? A is the blue one, B is the green one, right? And you kind of like do A plus B, but like both. You do A plus B and then like B plus A. Yeah. And then if you take the cross product of this and you get the magnitude of it, that ends up equaling the area of this. Okay, so cool. So this is kind of the same thing here. They're saying if you have 2 tangent vectors to whatever your surface is, and then you take the cross product of those two, that gets you an area element per se, or surface area element. Oh, you learned the parallelogram thing today? Yeah, this is cool. This is why, again, things you guys learn in middle school, high school, you're like, when am I going to use this? It comes up in this shit later, dude. It never leaves you. Yeah, I don't like this. This is like too much. Determinate JT, J transform J, like no, stop. Okay, and then you replace F by your new thing, and then you integrate over the parameter domain. Why this works? This is the heavy math terms, so a little scary here. Says the map G is approximated by its linearization. A little rectangle dUdv in the parameter domain is mapped to the parallelogram in space by dg du dg dv dv. Ah. Oh, okay. That's cool. So this is the first part, Sib, when doing this question that I wouldn't get instantly, but I think is the crux of the whole argument, is that when you had these 3 points, you figured out that this was the equation of a plane that was just x plus y plus z is equal to 1. Again, this is one of these things in math where if you've seen it enough times, you recognize it, it makes things easy, and you can just do it. It's awesome. If you don't, I think there's a way to do it by creating 2 vectors from the pairs of points, and then from that you can come up with the equation of the plane, I believe. Yeah, that's the tricky thing. So here it is. Yeah, surface integrals reduced to ordinary double integrals after the parameterization of ds is equal to... This happens all the time. You got to find 2 tangent vectors, you cross product them, and then this is the area Jacobian. Cool. I knew it was a Jacobian something. Which measures how small a see how this is like a factor, right? This is like a coefficient in front of dUdv. So instead of dx dy, it becomes this. Yeah. Square root of 1 plus gx squared gy squared dx dy. Yeah. And then if the integrand is a constant, because it's something from your plane equation, then it's super easy. Barycentric parameters. What are barycentric parameters? Yeah. You know what we'll do, Sib? Here, let me help out Odin with his physics, and then I will go back and show you why these 3 points determine this plane. Like how you can do it for any like basic case, maybe. Because I think something that might come up on your questions a lot is they're going to give you like points, and you want to be able to quickly determine what the equation of that plane would be for those points. There is a way to do it. And actually, I need to remember it, so it'll help me out if I help you out to learn it, because I don't remember it. Okay, cool. Let me try to do Odin's here. Okay, it says, transverse waves on a string have a wave speed of v, 8 meters per second, an amplitude this, and a wavelength of 0.32 meters. The waves travel along the minus x direction. Okay, interesting. And at t equals 0, x equals 0, the end of the string has its maximum upwards displacement. Exactly, Andrew. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And we're going to do that right after this one. But I'm pretty sure what you do is you come up with 2 vectors, right? From your 3 points that define a plane, you can create a pair of vectors. And then you cross product those 2 to get a normal vector. And then there's something with that normal vector dotted with like n or whatever, or with r or something. And then that gets you the equation of the plane. I need to remember how to do it. It is a very basic like linear algebra thing. Of all my knowledge, I don't remember exactly how to do it. But it'll help me to go do it. But anyways, let's do this one real quick. So, transverse waves. Transverse waves means that the waves oscillate perpendicular to their propagation. So, in this case, if we had a wave, let's say that looked like this. This would be a wave that propagates left to right because its amplitude is up and down. So in the y direction. So this is an example of a transverse wave. And then again, this is going to be propagating in the minus x direction. And we say at t equals 0, x equals 0, the end of the string has its maximum upward displacement. So I'm going to say this is what's happening. We could say this is like, whatever, just say this is like some amplitude y. And this could be t. It could also be x, because at t equals 0, it should be maximal, and also at x equals 0, it should be maximal as well. Yes, when x is equal to 0, y is the amplitude. Yes. Well, y should be the maximum amplitude, but also t needs to equal 0 as well. So it's 2 conditions. So on this wave, you have the position in time, like how much it's evolved in time. And then you also have the position in space, like where it is. It's kind of a confusing thing with waves, but I talk about how like you can have like 2 snapshots. You can either like take a photo of what your wave looks like, and that's a snapshot in time. And then in that case, you're looking at what the wave looks like as a function of position. Or you could like place a sensor somewhere position-wise on where the waves are going past. And then you could look at, as a function of time, how that amplitude goes up and down. It's like 2 different. I should make a video on this one. I really should. This is a TikTok video I should make, because I'm always talking about it, and it helps to have some animations. I might do one. Okay, so here we go. Find the wave number of these waves. Wave number is called k, I believe. Oh right. Oh, they give it to you. K. Okay, cool. And k is equal to 2 pi over lambda, I believe. Sure, RK. You know, I think I fixed the website, RK, so that you can upload different types of screenshots. You want to try sending one of them again? If not, you can send it to my Discord. But try using the link down there. I'm curious to see if it works, RK. I'll be happy to help you. Yeah, so I believe K is 2 pi over lambda, which they gave us lambda, right? Lambda is 0.320. That's the wavelength. So that's like the width of the waves in what we say like position space. So like if we're freezing time and looking at it as a function of position, that's what this is. This is lambda. And we say it's 0.32. So it should be 2 pi over 0.32. One would hope. Let me pull out my calculator. Take a look at it. Okay, calculator. Let me turn this on. Okay, so 2 pi. You gotta make sure everything's in meters too, right? Divided by 0.32. So 19.6 should be K. I think it is. You tell me if Mastering Physics likes this. I think you should, right? I hate Mastering Physics, by the way. Okay. Write the wave function describing the wave. Ooh, this is cool. It depends if they want to use sine or cosine. I'm assuming they want to use sine, right? Then we're going to have to put a phase shift on it, though, aren't we? Oops. Okay. I think it's y of x comma t is equal to a sine. I want to say it's kx minus omega t. But I think that's for waves propagating to the right. So I think it's kx plus omega t for waves that are propagating to the left. Yeah. This should kind of make sense to you. Do you remember when we were doing like transformations of functions? Like if you have f of x versus like f of x, like I don't know, plus a, right? Remember how like plus a moves things to the left? But if you do like minus a, it moves things to the right. The other example of this, right? If you had I don't know, like x squared plus 2 versus like y is equal to like x minus 3 squared plus 2. Remember how like subtracting is technically moving things to the right? You had the same thing for your assignment? Oh, that's cool, Lafuku. We'll see if you got it right. The algorithm knows what you're doing, dude. TikTok knows all, dude. So in this case, if time is now like advancing, right? The plus means that as time goes up, this thing moves to the left. That's kind of where this comes from this little thing here as well. So I believe you put a plus. We already know what K is. K is equal to this. We got to get omega. And we got to get... Oh, we know what amplitude is. Amplitude's 0.07. Okay. Oh, and then technically there's a plus phi term on it. This is your phase shift. And I think because this thing is maximal at 0, 0, and sine is, you know, minimal, or like it's 0 at 0, 0, we're gonna need to shift this, or I could just write this as cosine. JPEG still won't work? No fucking way, dude. Really? Oh man. Are you really telling me? Like, on this thing? I know it says PNG JPEG, but I switched it. I switched it so you can actually put JPEGs on this. Or you should be able to. Watch. Here, let me change one of these. I'm gonna change one of these files just to show you. Okay, I'm gonna rename. Where can I rename my files? It's so funny. Okay, here we go. JPEG. I would like to change it. Yes. Okay, there. So see how that says figure 14.jpg? I'm gonna say this is like test. Let's see if it works. Yeah. Cool. It does work. And then if you check on my Discord, I do get the image right here. This is the image I just sent it. It's pretty cool. I use ChatGPT actually to code that whole thing. Sib, does it work today though? I updated the code today on it to include other formats like HEIC, JPEG. WebP, GIF. Like, I was like, whatever, just accept all the formats. I just don't want someone to like upload like an exe to me. Yeah, I'm curious. Okay, anyways, so because it needs to be at its max at 0, 0, we're gonna call this thing cosine, and I'm gonna get rid of the. I don't need a phase shift anymore. So this should be 0.07 cosine of 19.6x, and then the omega. Ooh, fuck. Oh, it does work. It works on Safari, but it doesn't work on Google. Oh, you know why? Because it probably has the old version of the website cached. You probably try clear your browser history or something. It should work. I think if you used it on one browser, and yeah, I just got your screenshot, by the way. See, this is you. See? Although like this looks like pretty warped. Like I look like I'm like zooming in or something. What's going on here? Okay, good to know. It's yeah. It was the peg, the E in it. They didn't like. Okay, one sec. We need to get omega here. And I think V is equal to omega over K. It works now? Nice. Yes, cool. Thank you guys for telling me that. Fascinating that, yeah, the difference in it working was .jpg versus .jpeg. I think this is old. I think this is deprecated. I don't think people use this anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this is the standard. We can ask ChatGPT real quick. What's the standard JPEG or JPG? I'm just curious. Oh, it does say to use JPEG with an E. Interesting. It's because old Windows DOS operating systems limited to 3 characters. Mac OS X uses JPEG with an E. Today, both are accepted, but not on my website when I had it coded the way I had it. That's cool. Okay, so I think V is omega over K. So K, I think that's correct. Actually, let's go back to asking ChatGPT real quick. Let's see, one sec. How would I determine omega for this? I think it's omega is V over K, or V is equal to omega over K, because I think that's wave velocity. I think group velocity is d omega dk. Okay, but I don't need all this stuff. What? Okay, so they say... oh, here we go. I think it's just KV. You got a test on Thursday, and I can barely simplify the simplest radicals. I can't add them yet. We did it yesterday, though. You got it, bro. Okay, cool. Yes, you can do K times V. Awesome. All right, so I was right. Okay. Okay. So omega is equal to K times V. It's all right, dude. We're going to help you out. We're going to help you out next year. Okay, so omega is equals KV. So that's equal to that 19.6 we had. Times 8. Or here, we can actually just take this. Sorry, this times 8. 157.1. So we're gonna say like plus 157.1 T. I think that's the final answer for this. I think that's also what like ChatGPT agreed with. Yeah, 157.1. Here, and I can actually tell it to just do that one real quick. Oh, but it wanted pi as a constant. Oh, that's ugly. Okay. This is where, like, I wonder if mastering physics allows you to just throw the decimals in, or if it's really going to be, like, a pain in the ass about, like, forcing you to use pi as a constant. You just got to divide pi out everything. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay. If you divide a pi out, this is what you'll get. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure this is this, and then this is this. Okay, cool. All right. Cool. Good question. I like that one. Okay. RK, let's help you out with some radicals. I'm trying to, like, read what's going on here. Oh, you have cubed roots now. Oh. We gotta teach you how to do surds for cubed roots now, dude. Oh, that's mean, bro. Fuck. Okay, fine. Okay. Let's pull it in. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Big Monkey Man, let me answer your question too while I pull this one in. I was wondering, on weekends I usually work. I was planning on saving that money to fund my master's as I don't have any expenses. I was wondering if by reducing my hours and using that time to work on things that could land me a scholarship would be a better investment of my time. Yeah, so I'll always say, don't worry about making money now. Worry on, like, doing the best in your classes to an extent. So, again, everything's dependent on your situation. So if you're working a 20-hour a week job and you're getting, like, B's and C's in your classes, I would drop that 20-hour a week job. Just get rid of it, because the pennies you're making on that 20-hour a week job are not really going to make up for you not getting a nicer, high-paying job if you got A's and B's in your college classes. So it makes sense to, you know, sacrifice a little bit now with the shitty paying job so that you do well in your classes and you can get a better paying job. If, again, let's say you have the same 20-hour per week class, but you're getting a 95 in all your classes. That's great. Some people would be like, oh, wait, but I want to get 100. I should start shaving some hours off of my job. I don't think so. I think once you're in that, like, high A, mid A territory, it's like diminishing returns to, like, cut other things to, like, try to get that A plus, like that. I want to get 100 in the class or something. You should take, this happened a lot in my, it was the pre-med physics class I taught at UCLA during the spring quarter. I had some students that, again, doing very well in the class, have like a 97, they have a 98, but they would spend so much time trying to argue with me so that they could get a couple extra points to get like a 99 or a 100. And I wanted to tell them, you know, man, like, an A's an A. Or there is no difference in GPA between an A and an A plus. So your transcript, whether you get an A or an A plus, will give the same number of points. So rather than spending all this time trying to go from like a 97 to a 100, you should take that time and go develop another skill or another hobby or like another club or another, just something, dude. But like, don't be wasting all these hours for that extra 3 points that isn't going to do anything. Especially, it's an intro physics class. I understand if this is like something that's advanced and really relevant to what you want to study, then cool, yeah, dump your heart out into it. But to me, it's like you're just grinding points for like diminishing returns. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Monkey Man. Yeah, use that time to work on projects. Yeah, or non-class stuff. Yeah, extracurriculars, any of this stuff. That stuff will get you scholarships. Not whether you got a 98 versus a 96 in an intro physics class. No one cares about that. Oh, I see, yeah. A 70, that's demoralizing. Okay, RK. Let's see. The screenshot's cut off a little bit, so I can't really see this. But I can at least help you out with these two if you want. So we have 2. This is a cubed root, which is a little bit different than what we've been dealing with square roots. This is a lot to dump on you right away, dude. Especially, you know, yesterday I feel like we just taught you square roots, and now they're hitting you with cube roots. And then this is -2 cube root. Here, let's just take, I like the colors. Cube root of 54 over 3, right? Yeah, okay. All right. It's the same strategy as we did before. What was it, here? Where do we do it? Here? Yeah, this like huge mess. It's the same strategy of like, you want to try to reduce radicals into smaller radicals, and you have to do some, you know, finding factors and things. But there's a better way to do it with cube roots, and it's instead of finding pairs of numbers, you got to find triplets. So I'm gonna look at this right away, and I'm gonna try. Let's just try to factor this thing out because as it stands, RK right now, cube root of 375 and cube root of 54 are not compatible. I hate to say it. You know, they're not meant for each other yet. But we can try to fix things. So let's try to like reduce this down real quick. So, can I get that, please? Please come down. Okay, let's go away. Let's go away. Okay. So I'm gonna try to break 375 into factors. First thing off the bat, right? This is odd. So you can't break it with 2s. It doesn't work. I think I can break it with 3s. So 3, and I gotta think like 3 times what gets me to 375? Well, 3 times 100 gets you to 300, and then I need another 75. So 3 times 25 would get me to the extra 75. So this is 3 times 125. Exactly. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, and then you know this is 5 times 25, and then 25 is 5 times 5. Right. Yeah. So here's a cool thing. Is that this is a triplet now, and that matches here. Whatever the number is here, that's how many you have to fit in your group here. So this is going to come out as a single 5, and then again, whatever's left goes back inside the house. And so what you're left with here is going to be 5 cube root of 3. Okay, that's what this cube root of 375 is. Okay. So cool. All right, so we figured that out. Let's do this one. So cube root of 54. I know 54 goes as like 3 and 18. 18 goes as like 3 and 6, and then 6 goes as 3 and 2. Another cool thing here, right? We got a triplet. Perfect. So this is a triplet here. So that's going to come out as a 3. And then you're going to have the 2 left over inside the house. Okay. So now what you end up getting is the cubed root of 3. Sorry, the cube root of 2 times 3. 3 cube root of 2. Yeah, that's what this is. Okay. So working back to what we had here, right? This thing is going to go away. And now is going to be replaced with 5. So times 5 cube root of 3. And then this is going to be 2 times 3 cube root of 2. This simplifies to 10 cube root 3 minus, and then this is 2 times 3 divided by 3. These 3's cancel. If you're multiplying by 3 then dividing by 3, you don't need to do it like twice. Like, you know, make your life easy. This goes away. And so this is just going to be 2 cube root of 2. Where did the 2 come from? Okay. there was a 2 here, right? Do we see that 2? Here, let me pull it up. Right, this 2 was here, and then when I was doing the cube root of 54, the 2 was what was left over. So there's a 2 that goes inside the root, and then there was a 2 from outside the root before we did the reduction. Okay. So yeah, so then this is your final answer. I assume there's more things going on here, RK, like over here and here, because as it stands, this is the simplest you can do things, because the cube 3 and the cube 2 don't match. What if, for example, I couldn't cut out the fraction? Sure. So, I mean, if this was, for instance, let's say this was a 7. Just for shits and giggles, right? You still multiply these two things together, right? That would be 6, all of this, over 7. So you could either say 6 over 7 times this, or the more common way to write it is to do 6 like this and then put a 7 underneath. Say 6 cube root 2 over 7. Because the 7 is dividing everything. It's dividing the product of the two things. So that's what that would be. We were lucky and these canceled out, so then this is just 2. And then if you got fractions, you need to like add the fractions together and stuff. So you would leave the 7 there. You would, yeah, you would. Yeah, you would leave it there. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, was there any other ones, RK, you had questions with? That didn't make sense? I did that. We did the foiling one. At the start. So for this one, you can't break this by 2 because it's odd. If something is odd, you can't break it down by factors of 2. This one you could. Yeah, you're saying if I wanted to break this one down first? Yeah, you totally could. So, yeah, the other way you could have done this, if you want to see. Yeah, this could have been 2, 27, 3, 9, 3, 3. Again, a group of 3s come out, 2 stays inside. That's also valid. The order you do it doesn't really matter. You could have gone even more. You want to see even goofier ways to do this? So you also know, right, that 6 times 9 is 54. But then this is like 2 times 3, and then this is like 3 times 3. Yes, you have 3s that come out, and then you have like a 2 that goes back inside. This is generally frowned upon, though, because you want to like try to break things. These are called prime numbers, by the way. These numbers here are prime because you can't break them down even further, right? So you want to try to break things down by primes. Or if you see something clever, so for instance, let me think of the one I want to do with this. Yeah, like 160, for instance. Here's an example of one you could do. Like, so 160, you could break as like 4 and 40. So even though 4 is not prime, because, right, 4 could be broken down into 2 and 2. You know you can break 4 into 4 and 10. And then this instantly, like, pulls out a pair. And then 10 can't break any further because it's just 2 and 5. So there's no more pairs. So this is one way to, like, take a shortcut. But in general, this is called the prime factorization of a number. We can say that 54 is the same thing as 2 to the first times 3 to the third. That's what this says. And you can check that, right? 3 to the third, that's 27 times 2. 2 times 27 is 54. And what you're doing when you do, for instance, the third root of 54, you're really taking something to the 1/3 power. That's what the third root means. It means to the 1/3 power. And you're doing that of 2 times 3 to the third. And then now what you're doing is you're applying this exponent to both things, which exponent of an exponent is multiplying. So this becomes 2 to the 1/3 times 3 to the 1/3 times 3. 3 to the 1/3 times 3 is 3 to the 1. So this becomes 2 to the 1/3 times 3 to the 1. And then remember, anything to the 1/3 power is the cube root. So this is why you get 3 cube root of 2 again. It goes like backwards and forwards. It's forever. It's infinite. Yeah. How would you simplify the fractions for the ones we did yesterday? You mean all this stuff? This stuff was nasty. Yeah, so here, let me... Okay, wait, can I not... Where is this one? Can I... There we go, thank you. Okay, let me pull that one in. No, that's not what I want, sorry. Oh, I was trying to upload. No, not that one. I want this one. Man. Okay. This. Yes. Can I get it on this page, please? No. All right, one sec. I will get it. Technology these days. There we go. Jesus.
Good job.
Okay. Okay. Let me just write out what these things were first off, okay? So root 8 was equal to 2 root 2. We know that, okay? Root 108. I think it's 6 root 2. Make sure that's what it was. Root 108 was... Oh, sorry, 6 root 3. That makes sense. Wow, 254, 227, 3, 9. Yeah, 6 root 3. This is 6 root 3. And then root 48 was 4 root 3. And root 50. I'm running out of colors. No. Okay. Root 50. 5 root 2. And then root 18. Thank you, Mandy. Have a nice sleep. A nice night, Big Monkey Man. Thanks for coming by. I always appreciate the questions about college stuff. I'm always down to help out with that. Yeah. Okay. And root 18. Fuck. What was that? 3, 6, 3, 2. 3 root 2. Okay. Now, what we will do here, RK, is I'm gonna substitute each one of these things in to show you like where the fractions go. Okay. So the first one was 3/4, and then instead of root 8, right, I'm gonna write times 2 root 2. Okay. And then we had minus, and then this was 5. And then instead of root 108, I had 6 root 3. Okay, let's move this over. And then we had minus 5/4, and then instead of root 48, we had 4 root 3. And then plus 1/2, and instead of root 50, it was 5 root 2. and then plus 2. And then instead of root 18, it was 3 root 2, I believe. Okay, RK, do we see that so far? So let's go do them like step by step, right? So looking at this one, right? This is 3 times 2 divided by 4. Don't even mess with this yet, okay? 3 times 2 is 6. 6 over 4 root 2, right? 3 times 2 over 4. 6 over 4 is the same thing as 3 over 2 root 2. And then usually what we do is we just take this thing and we just like keep it up top. So then this would be 3 root 2 over 2. That's how we would write this. How is 6 over 4 3 over 2? Okay. So 6 fourths. What you can do is you can say divide by 2, divide by 2. You divide the top by 2, you divide the bottom by 2, you get 3 over 2. This is reducing fractions. It's a very important thing to know. The other way you can kind of see this, right? 6 is the same thing as 2 times 3, and 4 is the same thing as 2 times 2. So now the 2's cancel, and you get 3 over 2. Denominator goes under the root. Eventually, yes. Yeah. I'm saying, for now, you can leave the fraction out front and just have this thing mess around with it and leave this just chilling on the right. Like kind of how I have it. And then, eventually, you want to put it back up in the numerator. It's because of this, right? So if you have, let's say you have like 2/3 times 8, right? This is the same thing as 2/3 times 8 over 1, which is the same thing as like 16 over 3. Or actually, it makes it even easier. Sorry. Let's say like 1/3 times 8, okay? This looks kind of weird. This is the same thing as 1/3 times 8 over 1, which is the same thing as 8 over 3. Okay? So instead of leaving like a fraction here and a non-fraction, we usually take this thing and we put it up top. Like this. Makes things nicer. Yeah? Okay. So then let's look at this one. This one doesn't have any fractions, so we're great, right? So this is just 5 times 6. So this is just going to be 30 root 3. Okay? And then there's a minus sign in front of this. And actually here, let's pull it down. Just so we can see it all. See it all together. Okay. Now let's look here. You have 5 times 4 divided by 4. Okay. I could write this as 20 over 4 root 3, which would then be equal to 5 root 3, right? And then there's going to be a minus sign here. The other way, if you want to be smart here and just like save yourself some time, is to recognize if you're multiplying by 4 and dividing by 4, these go away. So you don't need to deal with that. And then it's just 5 root 3. Does that make sense, RK? How does 20 become 5? Cool. So this is 20 divided by 4, which you should know. You should know. I mean, this is, you know, we learned this in elementary school, right? What's 20 divided by 4? Ooh, for 30 square root of 3, how do I find the decimal? You use a calculator. You can approximate what the square root of 3 is. You know it's in between 1 and 2. And I know that the square root of 2 is 1.4, so I could do that. So it's probably like 1.7. There are a bunch of other methods you can do that. You can do like what's called like Euler's method or something. There's a bunch of fun shit you can do to make it work. But one sec. Also, let me make sure my chat's still working. Sometimes my chat stops. Okay, good. My chat's still working here. Why do I leave that last fraction like this? Well, we leave it as a 5. This isn't a fraction, right? Oh, you're talking about this one. You're talking about... Well, this is not the last one. For this, okay. This is 1 times 5 divided by 2, which is going to be 5 over 2, root 2, which is then the same thing as 5 root 2 over 2. Oh, you said the first one. Okay, let me look at the first one. This one. Well, this is 3 times 2 over 4. So that becomes 6 over 4, which becomes 3 over 2. This is a fraction. This is not a whole number, right? So that's why I write it like this. This here was just 5 times 6. That's a whole number. That's just 3. That's just 30. This was 5 times 4 divided by 4, which is 20 over 4, which is 5. Okay, cool. So cool. We got this done. Yeah. And then this should be easy, RK, right? This is just 2 times 3. So this is just 6 root 2. Okay. Now, once you've gotten to this step, right? You need to start combining the roots that are the same, okay? So what I notice is this is a root 2, and this is a root 2, and this is a root 2, okay? So we're going to combine all of these 3 together, okay? So this one, well, it's really this. It doesn't have to do with the fraction yet. It has to do with that they're all root 2s. Okay. Okay, so you have 3 root 2 over 2 plus 5 root 2 over 2 plus 6 root 2. Okay? Let's try to combine these, okay? What I notice is that there's a root 2 in all of these things, okay? So I really could just pull the root 2 out if I wanted to. Because this is going to be the same thing as 3/2 plus 5/2 plus 6. And then all of these things are times a root 2. So what I did is I pulled this out of every single one. This is called factoring. Okay, now this should be easy for you to deal with, right? Because 3/2. Oh, why is my Twitch? One second, let me get my Twitch chat. Where's my Twitch chat? Okay. Come on. Test. Oh, there he goes. Now it's working. Okay. I don't know. Sometimes it lags. Okay. 3 over 2 plus 5 over 2, right? That's going to be 8 over 2 plus 6. 8 over 2 is the same thing as 4. So you get 4 plus 6. So now you have 10. Root 2. So the final bit from here is just going to be 10 root 2. Okay. All right, now we need to look at the other stuff we had. Which, ooh, I'm running out of colors, but let's do this one. Okay. So we have a root 3 here and a root 3 here. Okay. And that was negative 30 root 3 plus negative 5 root 3. Or you could just say also minus 5 root 3. This combined now becomes negative 35 root 3. Okay. So then adding them all together, your final answer is 10 root 2 minus 35 root 3. Yeah. Does that make sense? Nice. You still remember a long time ago when I learned the quadratic equation song? How does your song go, Sib? Mine's like, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's how I remembered it. I wonder if that's similar to how you guys learned it. It was like Pop Goes the Weasel. Yeah. Sick. Okay, cool. This is, yeah, I mean, this was an involved question. How do you add fractions? Can you show real quick? Yeah, sure, dude. Adding fractions, you just have to have the same denominator. Okay. I'm in grade 11. I don't know this. That's okay, dude. No one learned shit during COVID, honestly. Okay. Yeah, okay. So if things are the same denominator, you're okay. So same denominator is easy. So for instance, like 3/7 plus 2/7, okay? Notice how these denominators are the same? So all you gotta do is just add the tops. So this becomes 2 plus 3 all over 7. Which is then equal to 5/7. Odin says, not gonna lie, that's true. I only locked in with school and I'm learning in my freshman year of college, bro. COVID hit me. Dude, COVID slapped, bro. COVID fucked up a lot. They actually just released the nation's report card today for 12th graders. And I think from 2019 to now, I think math comprehensions is down like 4 points, like 4%. It's nuts. Like what? Yeah, definitely had to catch up. Honestly, this whole nonprofit started because of COVID. I've been teaching before COVID, but I noticed especially during COVID that people were getting wrecked. And I was like, okay, let me like try to like undo some of the damage by giving out some free help on, you know, at the time we only did Twitch, but you know, now it's like YouTube, TikTok, everything else. So yeah, I understand the catch up is real. Okay, so same denominator, easy, okay. Different denominator. It's harder, but not too bad. You have to find what's called like the LCM, which is called the least common multiple. Have you seen this before? What a least common multiple is? So let's say, for instance, you have 5/12 plus, I don't know. Come up with something else. Oh, I got a good one. 5/12 plus 1/8, right? This is scary, yeah. You want these things to have the same denominator. There's a couple ways to do this. So you can either multiply each thing by the other denominator. So for instance, I could multiply this by 8/8. And then I could multiply this thing by 12/12. And look what you get. You'll get 8 times 5, so that's 40 over 8 times 12, which is 96. And then this is 12 times 1, which is 12 over 8 times 12, which is 96. Now they're the same denominator. So you can add the tops. So this becomes 40 plus 12 over 96, which is equal to 52 over 96, which you can then reduce. If you divide this by 4 and you divide this by 4, you end up getting, I think it's 13 over 24. And this is like the simplest form. Okay. This is kind of like the brute force method for doing it. I'm gonna show you a simpler way to do it. This is like brute force. How does reducing work? Yeah, reducing is you just figure out like what goes into this, but also goes into this. And then you divide both things by the same thing. So, for instance, when I had my 52 over 96, I could have done it this way. So 52 over 96, I know 2 goes into both of them, right? So I would do divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay, 52 over 2 is 26. 96 over 2 is 48. I can divide this again by 2. 26 over 2 is equal to 13. 48 over 2 is equal to 24. So I was smart, and I was like, I'm just going to divide it by 4 instead of dividing by 2 twice. But both ways work, okay? So reducing the rule with fractions as long as you do the same thing to the top that you do to the bottom, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, you just divide until you can't anymore. Yeah, exactly. 100%, dude. Yeah, that's exactly correct. Okay, but let's show an easier way. So again, this works, but this sucks. So let's come up with like an easier way that you can do it. So this is going to be called using the LCM, least common multiple. Okay. So what I'm going to do, instead of like multiplying this by 8 over 8 and this by 12 over 12, I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to try to figure out a smaller number that both of these things go into. And let's see how that works. So I'm going to start writing out the multiples of 12. Okay. So we got 12, 24, 36, 48. I don't think I need to keep going, right? Then let's write out the multiples of 8. So I have 8, 16, 24, 32, okay? And so forth and so forth. My goal is to figure out where these two numbers match up for the first time, okay? And what I notice is that, oh, well, 12 hits 24. 8 also hits 24. So 24 is the least common multiple. It's the lowest number it's the lowest multiple of these two numbers, right? 12 has a bunch of multiples. It just keeps going, like forever. But the smallest one that matches up with the smallest one here, or the smallest pair, is 24. So now my goal is to just turn this into a 24, and to turn this into a 24. And what I notice is that I can do that, right, if I multiply this by 2 over 2, right? If I multiply this by 2, if I multiply the bottom by 2, I get 24. But anytime I do anything to the bottom, you got to do it to the top. And then for this would be like times 3 times 3, right? I think, how do I get the 8 to 24? I get the 8 to 24 by multiplying it by 3. I get the 12 to 24 by multiplying it by 2. So then I do that to these two things. But anytime you do something to the bottom, you got to do it at the top. So this becomes 10 over 24 plus 3 over 24. Notice how these are the same denominator, right? So I can just add them. Or I can just add the tops, right? So this is 10 plus 3 over 24, which is equal to 13 over 24. And looky, looky, that's the same answer that we got up here. Yeah, even Elon approves. I might need to remove that one from my GIF. It was funny at the moment. Okay. Does that make sense? A kind of like cool little crash course into how you can like add fractions. Yeah, nice. Yo, what up, Demented, dude? You wanna come say hi? Come say hi to me, dog. What's going on?
Yo, how are you,
Yo,
brother?
what's up, brother, dude? How's college?
Oh, not too bad. I just started my first year for the second time because I switched to mechanical engineering instead.
What were you beforehand? What was your engineering before this?
Biomedical engineering.
Oh, okay. You didn't like the OChem?
That's
You didn't
why
like
I
the
switched to
you didn't like the Orgo stuff? Is that why you switched?
No, I'm not good with blood. So I decided to switch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm also absolutely... Dude, they showed me like a video of open heart surgery when I was in like middle school and I puked. And I was like, nope. No. I am not going to medical school.
Yeah, he showed a video trying to fix a blood pump while blood is in there, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not able to do that.
No. Oh my god. Okay. Well, luckily it was only your first year, so you were probably just taking GE classes anyways.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty simple classes, just calculus. Now it's even easier. We're doing fractions, prime fractions, shit like that. So it's not.
I was
bad.
literally just doing fractions with a student on TikTok. Did you see that?
Yeah, I
Fractions.
seen it on TikTok. I was like, wait, oh my god, it's Dr. Gold. He showed up to my For You page. That's new.
Oh, really? I hit your FYP, dude? I hit your FYP?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
I was like, "Oh,
Nice, dude. Wow, I'm TikTok famous, dude.
How
that's
you
cool.
been?
I've been good. I just got back from Burning Man. So I've been like readjusting to normal society.
Oh my god, how was that?
It was great. It was absolutely phenomenal. I've been posting like pictures and videos on Instagram like all week. There's like so much to it.
Oh yeah, I've seen so many.
Yeah, lots of storms and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's good. The school year started, so I've like picked up with teaching again. I taught at UCLA a couple quarters. I taught a summer class. I taught a spring class. What else is going on in my life? Yeah, right. So much stuff. But yeah, no, it's been good. We got students coming in and stuff. I'm getting back in the swing of things. You're starting. Don't say you're starting your first year of college again. You're really starting your second year. Tons of people switch their majors, by the way, bro. It's still your second year. Like
It was weird switching. I don't know. I had to take like a gap year basically because it only starts in like September. They don't do like April to the June. They're like it's just like start of.
Oh, I see. You mean for like your specific degree courses? Yes, I agree that. Yeah. They are kind of weird with that where there's a track where it's like mechanics 1, mechanics 2, mechanics 3 or something. And you can't take mechanics 1 in the spring of the next year or something.
Exactly. Yep.
I see. Okay. But you're really in your second year of college. You've just like switched majors. Yeah. No, that's totally fine. You're fine, dude.
I'm not done yet because then I'm gonna go from college to uni trying to do nuclear engineering.
Nice.
I kind of like the nuclear fission and stuff, like how you split the atom. That was sick.
Yes, dude.
Getting
That's
to see the
sick.
video and stuff.
Sick, dude. Yeah.
I've seen Ontario Tech is the one I want to try to get into because they have a literal nuclear plant under the school, and I really want to go there.
Oh, that's cool. Do you know what type of reactor it is? Ontario Tech.
I actually do not know.
I did a lot with like fusion research. So the other side of nuclear engineering. I mean, fission's a lot easier to do these days.
Yeah.
Fusion's impossible. I wonder what type of reactor they have. Ontario tech fission reactor. Did you ever watch Chernobyl, the HBO series one?
Oh yeah, I seen a little bit of it. That was like insane to me.
Yeah, that's called an RBMK reactor. Oh, okay. They call it an SMR reactor, small modular reactor. Oh, that's cool, man. So they're trying to do like small nuclear reactors, which is, I think, kind of the future, honestly.
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, look at these. These are the fuel rods, right? Or sorry,
They
it's a
have
graphite.
so much stuff. Like like I want to go into like the detective. They have like, yeah.
Dude,
I
this
don't know.
is cool.
That stuff is sick. Having to actually work on nuclear reactors there before you're like studies. It's like,
Oh.
whoa, wait, what?
Oh, man.
I think it's the only uni that does some of that. Kinda
Yeah.
weird. I don't want to blow up the fucking school if I like make one small mathematical mistake.
Yeah, don't do it, dude. Don't blow up the school. That's one way to get kicked out. Dude, that's cool,
That's
man.
the
That's
one way.
that's sick, dude. That's so sick. Yeah, because you're gonna do a master's, I guess. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get your undergrad in Mechie, and then you'll go do your master's in in nuclear engineering, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. Wait one sec. Okay.
But in my opinion, it's like one of the coolest universities. It's like, I know it's not as popular as like Yale or Harvard or like
No,
other
dude.
universities like that, but like the facilities they have feel like very futuristic.
Exactly, yeah. And I say this a lot to students. Don't worry about the name and the clout and whatever. What's really important is that it has the opportunities for you to do like the research and stuff that you want to do. So, yeah, again, if you want to do nuclear engineering, it helps to go to a school that has a fucking nuclear reactor to engineer on. If you go to Yale to try to learn nuclear engineering, like, you're going to get a shit education because they don't have anything to do with nuclear over there. Yeah. That's cool. Nice.
Finally,
All right.
I finally got my license today. That was scary.
Your driver's license? You can now drive? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Watch out for the roads.
Yeah,
Demented's on
not very
the
good
roads,
idea.
dude. Demented's on the road. Do they make you learn how to drive stick?
No.
It-
I'm really upset about that.
It's so funny. Nobody knows how to drive stick. I asked it in my class I was teaching. I said, who in this class, raise your hand if you know how to drive manual, and one person raised their hand. Out of like 200 kids in my class. I was like, wait, what? Only one
Oh
of you
my
can drive
God.
stick? Yeah. It's just not taught anymore, but if you ever go to Europe and stuff, it's like 100% necessary.
Oh my god, I am moving to Europe. Oh shit. I'm worried now.
Nice. Sick. All right, I got to work on another question, but it's so good to hear from you, Demented. I appreciate you coming by, dude. I'm glad
Yeah, it's
life is
nice.
well.
Thank you
Please
so much.
always come by, dude. What classes are you taking this quarter or this year? Do you have any like physics or you are going to
I
take
have
physics for sure.
mathematics, Greek math. Yeah, physics is next year. Right now it's just basic maths, but I will stop by because it's
Yeah,
been a while
please.
since I've done math. So I'll be stopping by.
We can help you out with the fractions and stuff, dude. I got you.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome, dude. Great. Awesome. Cool. Love to hear from you, Demented, dude.
Good
Thank you so much,
job.
brother.
All right, you're good, dude. Be well. Nice. Sib, if you're still here, I will do how to find the equation of that plane. If you still want to do it, that's okay. We don't have any other questions today. We've been pretty chill. Pretty chill day today. But I did say I was gonna do it. Sib's like, yeah, I'm here. Hell yeah. Okay, let's do it. Okay, good. Maybe it's actually a very simple derivation. I think it kind of is. I think I'm just like dumb, but okay. So in general, if you have these points, yeah, let's draw out what these points are. For sure, Demented, dude. I'm glad I popped up on your FYP, man, dude. Always come by. Always come by. Say hi. Demented's like an OG. Demented, you've been in my server for probably like, I'd say at least 2 years, maybe 3. I forget how old I am sometimes. I'm like, what's going on? The server's been around for four and some change. Started right after my birthday in 2021. So I think it's been around 4.5 years, the server. You joined early 2022. Yeah, so bro, what? Yeah, that's almost 4 years. Yeah, 3 at least. 3 and something. Demented had like the record for the most amount of students he invited. You broke my invite system, I remember, because you were part of some other server, and he got something like 100 or like 200 people to join my Discord, and this is when my Discord was small. I only had like probably a couple hundred people in Discord, and Demented like doubled my user count by just dumping my invite on like one of his servers. It was hilarious. I remember I had to like there's always like a growth period to like servers, and I had like an incentive where I gave out like money basically for people inviting people, because I didn't think people would be as successful with inviting people into the server, and Demented just got like a fucking truckload of people to join, and I was like, okay, cool, here, I'll just cash you out like $100 or something, but I can't pay you for all these. It's like so many people. Yeah, it was fun. Good times. Okay, so you just skipped. Yeah, you went straight. You said, I'm going straight to level 3. I'm done. I think what we do here, Sib, is we're gonna create 2 vectors. So I'm gonna create a vector from like this point to this point. I'm gonna call this vector like A. And then I'm gonna create a vector from this point to this point. I'm gonna call this vector B. And then if I cross product these 2 vectors, because these 2 vectors like encompass the plane of the triangle that I care about. And if I cross product 2 vectors in a plane, I get the normal vector to the plane, which is going to be, we'll come up with a color. It's going to be like this. This is going to be like A cross B. Anakim says, just lurking while I get some other things done on my other monitor. I don't remember where I followed you from, but it's probably, oh, nice, yeah. We do have a lot of other awesome education Twitchers, edu-twitchers. I haven't heard that name before. Edu-twitchers? That's actually really cool. I am an edu-twitcher. And an edu-talker. And an edu-tuber. Edu-cord. That's another one. Yeah, here, let me dump the... I need to update this list, honestly. But those are our friends. I know Don has a new name. He's no longer Don Does Math. It's Don Factorial, but he's another good friend of ours. Well, you just created it, Anakim. Good job. Okay, so let's come up with what this vector is. Okay, so like vector A. So you always just do like finishing point minus starting point. So that's going to be 1, 0, 0 minus 0, 0, 1. So that's just going to be equal to 1, 0, -1. Ooh, HHH, you gave me something? Ooh, I like this. Thank you, Odin. Did you submit someone earlier to me? Did I just totally skip over you earlier? I don't think I did. No. You just submitted to me today. You're locked in, bro? Hell yeah, dude. Love it. Okay, and then vector B... That's going to be equal to, what's this going to be? 0, 1, 0. So I'm taking like this point minus this point. Minus 0, 0, 1. So that's going to be equal to 0, 1, -1. Okay, cool. Now let's do A cross B. Okay, I, J, K. And we're going to have 1, 0, -1, 0, 1, -1. So then let's block. Let's do the determinant. So 0 times -1 is 0. Minus 1. It's +1. So this is going to be +1 in the I hat direction. And then minus So it's -1 minus 0, so that's plus 1 j hat. Okay. And then plus 1. Oh, brilliant. Okay, 1 k hat. Awesome. Okay, so that's 1 comma 1 comma 1. Okay, so that's the normal vector. I believe this is called n. We call this n. Now let me remember where this comes from. So equation of a plane from 3 points. There's a way to do this. One second, let me make sure. I forget. Okay. This is it. This is what it is. Okay. This is the equation that we need to know for okay, so once you have a normal vector and it contains the point. Oh, you know where this comes from, Sid? This is really cool, actually. It's because, like, the dot product of two things that are parallel to each other has to be 0, right? No, the dot product of two things that are perpendicular to each other has to be 0. Yes. I want this in vector form, sorry. Equation of a plane in vector form. Why I keep showing my Google Ads summary? Where is it? It's like n dot r. Yeah, this. Oh, yep. Love Paul's math notes. He's so great. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. N is orthogonal to the plane, so it's also orthogonal to any vector that lies in the plane. Uh-huh. Where is our 0 point again? Okay, cool. This is cool. This is finally, like, making sense to me after I've taught it, like, again, for, like, the 50th time. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is why this works. Okay, right? So, what's up, Seed? So, if n is your normal vector to the plane, right? And you dot it with a vector that's in the plane, which in this case would be r. R points to, like, some point in the plane, or r points somewhere. This is, for instance, like the x comma y comma z, and then this points to a point that is in the plane, which is x naught, y naught, z naught. Okay. If you do this, right? This is cool. Then here, this right here, this is r. And then this right here is r naught. And then this right here is your normal vector n. You think you are better than Asian? Well, define better. I definitely can't compete with some of my Asian counterparts on, like, standardized tests. I'm actually trash at that compared to them. Okay, so this is really cool. Okay, so cool. So let's write out what we got, right? So I know my normal vector ABC, so that's just 1, 1, 1. So I have 1, then it's x minus some point plus 1 y minus some point plus 1 z minus some point is all equal to 0. And then what was we can just substitute any one of these points, because any one of these points is on the plane, right? So I could substitute 0, 0, 1. Let's just do it. So that's x minus 0 plus y minus 0 plus z minus 1. X plus y plus z is equal to 1. Wow. I think it's fucking dope.
That's dope.
Okay, so that's how we determine that this is the equation of the plane that contains all three of those points. Which I think was, like, again, the crucial step. Once you figure this out, you know that this is basically just one. And then all you have to do is parameterize the space, which X, you pick, like, one thing to fix. Like, X goes from 0 to 1. Cool. How does Y relate to that? And then Z is a function of X and Y. Nice. We'll do this one next time, Sib, if you want, if you're still around tomorrow. It's getting kind of late. I gotta go teach another student. How long we been on? 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, I didn't understand why it was 1. Yeah, I honestly, I didn't understand why it was 1 either. Other than, like, it just worked. But, after doing some math, it works. But Odin, I'll do one of yours. You gotta give me one of these. Which one of these do you want? Big Unk, dude. Any of them, because I haven't learned them yet. Okay, cool. Well, I think we literally just did this, bro. The vector for the line containing 2 points, right? That was literally what we did here, right? If you want the vector between 2 points, you just subtract the 2 points from each other, right? From here to here. So for this one, you would just do 3, 2, minus 1, right? I'm gonna say this is the final point. Minus 0, 1, 1. And so that becomes 3, 1, -2? Yeah. Is that a vector equation, though, by the way? Or, I don't know. Like, y equals this times t? Because technically it's like, it's some multiple of this, is what it is. Or I think it's this plus, I think it's this t plus your initial point, which is like 0, 1, 1. Yeah, I think this is what it is. Yeah. I think so. Do you see how this is kind of like y is equal to like mx plus b? Like this is kind of like the slope between the two of them. I think so. Let's go check. Let's go check our friend chat. Our friend chat, dude. Here, solve the first one. Yeah, cool. That's it. Yeah. 3, 1, -2, t plus 0, 1, 1. So yeah. So you find the slope between 2 points, which is basically subtracting the 2 points as vectors. You slap a t on front of it, because that's like how many multiples of that direction you're going. And then you have a starting position, which is this 0, 1, 1. I think technically you could have used the other one. You could have used this one as well as a start if you wanted. Interesting. Find the equation of the plane containing the 2 parallel lines. Yeah, that's light work, right? This is actually very cool. 2 parallel lines. Yeah. I think you find a point on one of the lines. So here's my thinking for this. So let's say this thing right here is L1. Okay. And it has this to it, right? So it's this is called parameterized form, right? Because if I plug in a value for t, I get different points. Let's pick one of the points. Let me pick, for instance, when t is equal to 0. When t equals to 0, the x coordinate is 1, right? So let's just draw it. Let's just say, cool. You have 1, comma, when t is 0 here, this is also 0, comma, and then when t is 0 here, you have 1 minus 1. Okay, cool. So let's pretend that's a point on L1, right? And then I have another line, which is called L2, and it's parallel to it, right? And I'm going to pick another point on it. I'm going to pick a point here when t is equal to 0. Let's see what we get. So that point would end up being 0, 1, 2. Okay, cool. Now, here's the cool thing. I can construct... Look at this. I can construct a vector in between these two things, right? I can make a vector from here to here. Let's come up with a different color for that. Because they're saying these are both in the plane, right? So these are both in the magic plane. And in my mind's eye, if I can find two vectors in the plane, then I can cross product them to get the normal vector and then use my equation to figure out what the equation of the plane is. So I know I can get the vector that connects the two of them, right? This may be unnecessary. I'm just doing it the way that I just instinctually think how to do it based on like what we did with SIB, right? So let's call this like vector A. So A is going to be equal to this thing minus this thing. Oh, fuck. This may be totally unnecessary, and there's actually an easier way to do it, but I don't know. I think it works. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 minus minus 1 is 3. Cool. I can find another vector by just picking another point. Let's pick another point here. Let's for instance pick the point t is equal to negative 1. If t equals negative 1, then this becomes 4. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay? And we can make another vector, which I'm gonna call vector. Call this vector B. Okay, and then I know for sure I have two vectors in the plane. So vector B is gonna be kind of the same thing, except instead of this 0, 1, 2, going back to 1, 0, minus 1 on the blue, it's gonna be 4 minus 4 minus 1, comma 4. Okay, and let's see what we get there. 4 minus 1 is 3. Negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. 4 minus minus 1 is 5. Cool. I got two vectors now. Let's cross them. So now we do A cross B. Because that'll get me the normal vector. Okay. So negative 1, 1, 3. 3, negative 1, 5. We got to do a determinant, right? So that's going to be 5 plus 3, which is 8. So we get 8 in the I hat direction. Minus, negative 5 minus 6. Nope, sorry, fuck. Negative, my brain's going at this point. Negative 5 minus 9. Negative 14 minus, so it's plus. So plus 14j. Okay, then let's erase this. 1 minus 3 is -2. Cool. Okay, so 8, 14, minus 2. That's our normal vector. Okay? Then the formula is the normal vector, so 8, 14, minus 2 equals 0. And then we just pick a point on the plane, which I could pick any one of these points. I'm going to pick this 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to say x minus 0 plus this, y minus 1 minus this, z minus 2. So that's going to get me 8x plus 14y minus 14. I'm going to write the minus 14 underneath. Minus 2z plus 4. Minus 14 plus 4 is negative 10. So then you move it over on the other side. So you get equals 10. You can divide everything by 2. So 4x plus 7y minus 2 is equal to 5. That should be the answer. Let's ask ChatGPT. I want to see how it does it. It probably honestly just took 1 point and then it used it. It took the parametric form and then turned it into a vector or whatever. Nice, let's do it. Cool, yeah, awesome. Yeah, easy. Minus 4 minus 7, 1. Is that what I got? Yeah, basically. So it's off by a negative, but it's okay. 4x plus 7y minus z equals 5. 4x plus 7y minus z equals 5. We did it. We did it. That's pretty fucking cool. I'm really proud of myself on that one. I only knew how to do that, Sib, because you asked me, but right before this, how to do this. I feel infinitely more confident today on how to compute normal vectors and planes and the equations of them. It's a good Tuesday. Nice. Okay, cool. Right and standard form, identify and graph the quadratic. We'll do this. We'll do this later. Okay, cool. If that's it for today, let's close out the stream. Thank you everyone for coming to Actual Education Office Hours today. I had a real fun time with you guys learning. Going through all sorts of questions. Please come on by tomorrow. We got another stream. I might have to start it early actually, now that I think about it, because I have to be down in Costa Mesa at 5 o'clock. So I think tomorrow's stream will start 2 hours earlier at 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll make an announcement on Discord tonight about that. But yeah, usually it would be at 5 o'clock, but I have to go somewhere tomorrow. But yes, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming by. If you got questions, come on by tomorrow. We'll help you out. If you haven't already, go like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Helps our metrics, helps us make the algorithm happy, and then we can go help other people because we get exposure. We love exposure. So we're going to go raid another channel on Twitch. Who are we going to go raid today? Nerduino's up. Uwo's doing the Great American Road Trip. I like Nerduino. He's a cool guy. Tuesday night space news. Yeah, let's go watch some space news. That sounds really cool. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, go say hi to our friends in Nerduino. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.